Welcome back, everybody, to Old School Sports with Mike and the Hammer, and we're going to get right to it. We got a great show for you. We got the Red Sox, the Celtics, the Bruins, the Patriots, Christian Gonzalez, NCAA, what's bugging Hammer, and Mike's Minute. Let's get to it, right? Hammer, those Red Sox, talk to me. Disappointing or what?
Well, I don't have the Red Sox negative finger out, but I'm starting at the negative finger on the Red Sox. Oh my God, do they suck? I'm telling you. And I'm really not too surprised. Going into the season, I said, you're going to rely on pitching and defense, and your defense stinks. You know, and the pitching is stunk. You can't hit home runs. Everything is wrong with this team. They look like crap.
And pitching is supposed to be their forte. That's their big thing. Everybody, they've been pounding the crap out of that. Pitching. We have great pitching. I don't see it.
Well, here's the thing. You know what you had with Crochet? Last year, the Red Sox were 23-9 when he pitched, and they were 66-64 without him. They're 1-0 this year and 0-4 when he doesn't pitch. He's the whole friggin' team. Yeah. Now you got rid of Giolito, who had a great year for you, and you bring in Sonny Gray with a 6.75 ERA. You bring in Suarez from Philadelphia, 8.31 ERA. And then what is going on? You know, they just cannot get out. These guys that are your second and third starters don't even give you a chance to win a game.
Well, that's a perfect example of the Red Sox always being the bridesmaid, not the bride. These guys, Suarez and Sonny Gray, they were good 3 to 5 years ago.
Yes.
Right? But now that they suck, and they're cheap,
we'll take them.
We'll take them. And another thing, they can't get on base.
They can't get on base. I mean, they have 6 guys in the starting lineup batting under 200. I mean, Story's at 167, Duran's at 154. I mean, Anthony, who right now it's Wednesday afternoon, the Red Sox are playing an afternoon game against Houston.
Right.
Anthony got benched today because he has struck out 10 out of his last 17 at-bats. He's your golden goose. He's the guy that you're relying your seizing offensively on. He can't even hit the ball.
The way they were talking about him in spring training, I mean, dare I say it, another Ted Williams, you know? I mean,
he struck out 4 times last night.
He's got all the tools. I don't know. You think baseball's mental anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, we got about a mental people on the team.
Abreu seems to be the only one that's really hitting, right?
Yeah, it doesn't help you when it's 1 out of 8 guys.
I know. Yeah.
But here's the thing. You have no leadership, okay? You lost Bregman, who they said last year, it's not so much about his stats on the field, right. It's what he did in the clubhouse. Even when he was hurt, he was mentoring, Roman Anthony. And Anthony even said after all these strikeouts, I'm going to give him a call. He said I can reach out to him anytime. He should be able to reach out to him halfway down the bench. But the Red Sox cheapened out on him.
Yeah.
They could have got Alonso. They didn't get him. They had a trade for Mate. They wouldn't do that. These are veteran guys, and they did none of it.
Alonso's swing is just made for Fenway. I would say if they got him, he's a 40 home run guy minimum. Yeah. Minimum. He could go for 50.
Yeah. And that's your problem with your team. I mean, they lost to Cincinnati 1 game, right, over the weekend. Duran, your guy. What an idiot. He cost them the game.
Picked off.
He's on first base, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and they pick him off. Next guy gets a hit, and you lose 3-2. You know? And the thing is, it's like they kept the wrong guys. I would have traded him last week. I'm not a big fan of Duran. He does the stupidest things at the worst times.
I just like his effort, but I don't know. It's disappointing, but it's also the only good thing I have to say about it. It's early. They did this last year. They started off 0-3 last year.
Well, they did. But here's the thing too. I blame the manager. Every year they come out of the gate sucking. Okay. Yeah. First of all, they're 4 wins and 11 losses the last 4 seasons in March. They are not ready when the season starts, and that's the manager.
The problem is it's March. Why are we playing in March?
These other teams seem like they're doing okay in March, except for the Red Sox.
Okay, all right.
So I'm just saying, it's like right now they're 1-4. They're in last place. They're averaging 2.6 runs a game, but giving up 5.2. Yeah. So they just got smoked 8-1 and 9-2 against Houston.
Yeah, 17-3. They're
not even in the same ballpark as a good team. I mean, Cincinnati stinks. And they were the only reason they won because Crochet won the first game of the season.
And you can't say that I don't think they have a payroll of a big league market, but I was surprised to find out. I read in the paper that their ranks they're ranked 12th in Major League Baseball payroll. So that's a decent amount. They should be able to be getting something from the return.
It's middle of the pack, right?
Yeah.
But it's like you're not contending with the Philadelphia's, the Cubs, the Dodgers, San Diego. Even like Baltimore might have a higher payroll. It's kind of like you spend the money on the wrong guys because, like you said a few minutes ago, you're looking for a bargain.
They're looking for a bargain.
So yeah, you're paying these guys like Suarez, the pitcher, who's throwing 2 miles an hour less than he did last year because he's older, and you got him for a cheaper rate, but he's still making pretty good money.
I know it's totally anecdotal, but I think their last 4 championships, I bet they were the top 5, top 6 in payroll.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were always, because
Yeah.
we're a big market, are we not? Right?
Yeah.
Used to be, right?
Yeah.
Now we Kansas City, Minnesota.
Well, I mean, they're middle of the pack.
Yeah,
So it's they're down towards the bottom.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be in the middle of the pack when you own your own TV station, so you're getting all that revenue.
What do we always say about the Red Sox? They're doing what?
They're printing money.
They're printing money.
But they're printing money and they're shoving it into their mattresses.
Yeah.
They're not spending it on the team like they should. You could say, 15th in payroll out of 30 teams is good, but you know what? It shouldn't be. You should be top 5 all the time.
Always.
You're in one of the biggest
At least
markets
top
in baseball.
10. At least top 10. Never go past 10.
Oh, yeah. So that's what you get. And the thing is, every year, there's so much turnaround with this team. You get 10 new guys every year because you don't pay the guys. You sign guys to a 1-year contract on a cheap rate. And then when they have a good year, like Bregman had last year, and then he goes and gets money somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You need consistency, camaraderie. You need to keep a team together, and this team doesn't. It's the old 27 players and 27 cabs.
Ooh,
remember that? Back in the
do.
70s, they used to say it about the Red Sox.
The Red Sox, absolutely. Yep.
And there it is. I mean, you got a guy like Anthony having to reach out to the Chicago Cubs and asking Bregman, why do I suck so bad?
But Anthony's the real deal. He'll straighten it out.
He will, but you need a veteran to kind of help him in these tough times.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Crochet's going today to stop the bleeding. And as of this hour right here, it's 2-2 in the
2-2 in the fourth.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
But it's early. That's the only good thing I say. It's early.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll bring it around. Hopefully.
All right. We'll see.
Okay. You got enough of them?
Well, let's talk about replaying baseball.
All right.
What do you? I just want to say the Red Sox. This is how dumb they are. The last 4 games, they've blown all their challenges by the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
It's like they don't understand the rule. And for anyone out there, you get 2 challenges. Like if it's a ball or a strike, they call it. If you're a batter and they call you a strike and you don't think it's a strike, you tap your helmet, they go to instant replay. If you're right that it was a ball, then now you keep your 2. But the Red Sox are idiots. Because the last 4 games, they've done that in the 3rd inning and lost all their challenges. It's amazing because they had Anthony the other day on a 3-1 pitch in the top of the 3rd inning, and he does that. Who cares if it's strike 2? You still got another pitch coming.
I know.
He was wrong. It was still a strike, and the Red Sox ended up losing that game in 11 innings, 3-2. And the thing is, they said after that point where he blew their last challenge, there was 15 pitches in the game that if the Red Sox challenged, they would have overturned the call. And then last night, Rafaela, who's a sucky 9th hitter in the lineup, okay, first pitch, they call it a strike. He challenges it.
On the first pitch.
On the first pitch. And then what happens? There's nobody on base. You're losing 1-0. It's the first pitch of your at bat. And he loses a challenge, and they're out of challenges the rest of the game.
You know why he loses it? He's got the worst eye in baseball.
Well, that's the thing. It's not like Ted Williams is up there. If Ted Williams is up there, they wouldn't even go to the replay. They'd say, Mr. Williams, if that's a ball, it's a ball.
That's right.
I believe you.
Yeah.
But they don't
Not
understand the
Rafaela.
rule. And that's where this Cora, I blame Cora, because he doesn't explain the rules to the players. Don't be blowing these ridiculous challenges early in the game. We might need them in the 8th, 9th inning.
Right. Like they do in basketball. You see
Exactly.
a lot of time they look over the bench, and Missoula will look to the guy behind him, and it takes them a lot to actually pull the trigger on that, and rightfully so. They're valuable,
Yep.
But league-wide, challenges have a 53.7% success rate. Catches are 59 for 92 for 64%. And batters are 33 for 78 or 42. So catchers really know whether it's a strike or a ball.
Well, they always say the catcher's the smartest guy on the field.
I was a catcher.
Well, see, there you go.
There you go.
just proved my point.
You're making my point. Okay, here we are. We're out of time.
All right, let's go to the Celtics.
Celtics, yeah. Hey, Joe Mazzulla, there was an article in the papers about Coach of the Year, and everybody saying, well, you're a potential Coach of the Year. And he goes, you know what? It's a stupid award. I don't want it. They shouldn't have it. What do you think about that?
Well, I think he's saying that because 4 out of the last 5 guys have been fired within 2 years after they won Coach of the Year. Yeah. So it's kind of like a kiss of death if you win that award.
Yeah.
But what he should have said was, whatever happens, happens. I don't care. But it's more about my staff and the players. He could have deflected it that way instead of calling it a stupid rule.
No, he did.
A stupid award.
He did go on to say it's about the players first and foremost, and my staff. It should not be about one individual. He did say that.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I want to talk about a couple stupid awards, though,
Go ahead.
that the Celtics are up for. Derek White, Sportsmanship Award. He's a final 6th in that, which is okay. I can accept that,
He's a good sportsman. He's a good sport.
This is the one that knocked me off my chair, and I think it might do the same to you. Jason Tatum, who's played a handful of games all year, he's been nominated for Teammate of the Year. He's a 12th finalist, and this is for on and off the court leadership. He hasn't played all year. Oh, what is it, soccer? You haven't played all year, but you're Jason Tatum. We're going to throw you an award anyways. It's outrageous.
What is this, Farm League? Everybody gets a trophy or something?
Yeah, no, not in Farm League, in soccer. Now, Farm League, you work for your trophies. But soccer? I mean, I'd be embarrassed. I mean, I don't want the stupid award.
No.
You know?
Is it because he did show up to most of the games where he wasn't playing? Is that it? Is that all it takes?
I guess.
Yeah, I think that should be required. And it isn't. There's a lot of times you don't see him there. You don't see a lot of players that are injured. I don't know where they are, right?
For $30 million a year, I want my money worth out of you. Get on the bench.
50.
50. Does he? I just think it's crazy.
No, it is. I can't believe Tatum's even mentioned that.
Yeah, so the Celtics are 50-25, couple game lead on the Knicks for the final.
2.5, yep.
Yep, so tell me about that. I mean, they have to.
They need to comfortable. They want that second seed because if they end up meeting the Knicks in the second round, that way that's the only way they're going to get home court advantage, and they need that against the Knicks. Okay. What else? So they got to go 5-2 or 6-1, and then they'll be able to rest some players. And they're not catching Detroit. Detroit's 5 up. It's just between them and the Knicks.
Yeah, I think a 2 seed. I mean, it's amazing that before the season they were projected to win 41 games and have already won 50.
Oh yeah.
They were like 70-1 odds to win the championship, and now it's like 6-1. So they have so far had an amazing season, done so much better than anyone could have thought.
And kudos to Mazzola for orchestrating that, and to number one, Jaylen Brown. I mean, He just showed what he could do, and he reiterated that on an interview, saying, "I was finally given the reins." So basically, every team has a player where the ball goes through, and the ball went through him all year. And Mazzola, he pulled all the strings, and an exact example, opposite example of that is Indiana. Indiana lost Tyrese Halliburton, and I think they've won 16 games this year. But they're
tanking.
They're tanking, but along the way, they weren't tanking initially. When they found out they were sucking, they said, "Well, we're going to tank."
Yeah, they were in the finals last year too. They lose one player, and they got the worst record in the league.
And we lose one player, and wow, all of a sudden 41 turns to 50. Well, they're probably going to win 54, 55 games.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, amazing. So they're overachieving for sure.
Yeah.
And now they got Tatum back, so the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's certain teams they kind of want to avoid a little bit, and there's one team that's really hot is Atlanta. And Atlanta's up and coming. I think they've won like 13 of the last 15. They say Charlotte's a threat, but I watched them the other night. They didn't seem so much, but they're hot as well. And I think the Celtics, as constituted, I think they can go to the finals, but that might be where it stops. On a side note, OKC, San Antonio, and LA, the Lakers, I hate to mention them, they're all 9-1 in the last 10 games, and they're all red hot.
Well, the good news is you only have to play one of them.
I
You
understand.
get to the finals,
but
they're all going to beat each other up, and
it's-
you're going to have who's left.
It's going to be OKC or San Antonio, and I'm gonna put I'm not a betting man, but if it was, I'd say it's San Antonio. But either one of them. Yeah. And I don't think right now, I don't think the Celtics could beat either one of them. But I think they can get there. What do you think?
I think OKC goes back. San
Okay.
Antonio, it's like that. We always talk about that. You need to get the experience. You need to lose before you can win. They haven't really been a factor in the playoffs recently, so they're going to maybe win a round or two. I don't see them going to the finals. I think the experience of OKC goes to the finals.
I think you're right. I've always ascribed to that you got to get there first and lose. But they've got one player that could change that whole thing around. Wembanyama. Yeah.
The big wingspan.
He's got like that 10-foot wingspan.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He is. So I like the Celtics' chances. I like the way they're playing. I think they can go to the finals. And then they'll lose right there.
Very good. I want to talk about another team that's playing out of their minds right now, and those are your Boston Bruins.
Woo! Hey, even I checked in on them a little bit. They've won 10 out of the last 16 games, including 4 straight. I was shocked to learn this. They have a league-high 28 games won at home.
Yeah, best home record in hockey.
They're just playing their best right now, which is a good time to do that. Now, that's all I got.
They had an amazing week. I mean, Buffalo's leading the division. The Bruins went to Buffalo and beat them.
Yeah.
Minnesota's a top team. The Bruins beat them 6-3. Columbus, the Bruins were down 3-0 with 11 minutes left in the game and beat them in a shootout.
Wow.
They scored a goal with like 10 seconds left or less to cut that game into overtime. And they beat Dallas 6-3 last night. They've won 4 games against the Iron of the League. So now you're going to take this team seriously. They're 8 points up for the last wild card. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Has Larry the Bear been texting you?
Oh, my God, he's losing his mind.
I haven't talked to Timmy. I got to give him a call.
Well, the difference is Swayman and Corpusalo. They're playing some great goaltending right now. The defense is shoring up, and they're getting some like Pasternak. He's got 97 points. I mean, he's a facilitator. He's scoring his goals, but he's also setting everybody else up. He's playing great. Zaka had a couple big goals the other night. They're playing great, and I'm not going to trash this guy. But Morgan Geekie has been a little disappointing. He's playing decent defense. He's out there. His plus-minus is still good, but he hasn't scored a goal in 14 games. And here's a guy early in the season that was carrying you, and since March 5th, he hasn't scored a goal. So they got to get him going. But you know what? This team, if they continue to play this good, yeah, they might be competitive in the playoffs. I mean, for me, I think if they make it, they're out in the first round, but they could push a series to 6 games, 7 games maybe, if they continue to play at this high level.
I just heard something I thought I'd never hear. That's like 2 or 3 weeks in a row now. You're praising Swayman, and you even praised Pasternak.
Yeah.
Both of them you've been bashing all year.
I'm getting on the bandwagon, Mike.
Oh man, I guess so. It's getting crowded.
I tell you, my favorite thing is hockey playoffs. It is so amazing, and it's so disappointing when you don't have a local team in it. I'll watch every second of every game until the Bruins get eliminated, and then I lose interest. So I don't know, because I'll look at I'll watch the Canadian, if the Bruins are playing in their series and they're going to win, I want to see who they're going to play next. So I'll watch like a Montreal or a Buffalo series
Toronto
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch somebody that they potentially could play them to see how they match up. But once the Bruins get eliminated, I kind of lose interest a little.
I totally agree about playoff hockey because I'm not a hockey fan per se. I used to be years ago in the old Espo Orr days, but I moved away and the whole thing got lost. But one thing I really appreciate is playoff hockey. More than any other sport, they play harder. They play harder in the playoffs. It's
different game.
It's just obvious, and it just like, and the Bruins especially. I mean, but that's once the Bruins are gone, I'm gone.
Kind of similar,
But hey.
Good for them.
Good for them.
I mean, if they continue to play this well, then they're definitely going to be ahead of the Red Sox next week.
We might get, they might get 5 minutes worth of.
Yeah,
right?
There you go. All right, let's jump to the Patriots. All right, tell me how you feel about this one. Okay.
Go ahead.
Christian Gonzalez, probably the best defensive player, with,
on the Pats.
On the Pats.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are we doing? He's at the Celtics game, and they show him he should be waving to the crowd, fans are cheering. He's like this. Because he's played 3 years for the Patriots, and he wants to renegotiate his contract. He wants a new deal. But you're doing this crap. I mean, come on. I mean, to me, it's offensive. He also was at a Brazil soccer game, a friendly, for the World Cup at Gillette Stadium. Same thing. It's not like he made a mistake the first time. But he's going like this again and say, come on, do your negotiation behind the doors. Don't do it out in public. It just bugs me.
Well, you know what it is. It's the Instagram age. It's everything social media, and that's because everybody knows he's going for a contract, but you don't flaunt it. let the game come to you. Let the contract come to you. And I'm not a big, I'm not a big fan about them ripping up contracts anyway. I look at it, I'm not naive. I know that's the way it is. He just finished his 3rd year. He's going into his 1st year where he can negotiate a new contract, and they could pick up his 5th year option. But we know it's never going to come to that, because we talked about it at the pregame. Well, what if they just don't? What if they just pick up his 5th year and they play, and they don't give him, they don't up his contract yet? Well, what's he going to do?
He's going to do what he did last year, beginning of last season.
He's going to come up with that.
He pulled his hamstring in training camp, and here's a 24-year-old guy that took 8 weeks to recover from a hamstring pull. He missed the first 3 games of the season. So, right there it tells me that you can't play games with this guy, because he'll sit out. He has no conscience.
The problem I have with it, it's all one way. Now, let's just say he signed a contract. He signed a 3-year contract with a 4-year contract with a 5th year option. Well, what if he totally sucked? Was he going to give half of it back? No. So it's basically, if I kill it, you got to pay me way more.
Well, right? That's true, but the only thing I would say, it's the NFL. If you're sucking, I can cut you.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So the thing is, the owners do have a little bit of leeway where, like in baseball, like Durbin.
Yeah, yeah, we own him.
He's 0 for 14.
But you know
what I mean? So like, if you cut him, you're still paying him $18 million or whatever.
Tom, no, I read in the paper. This is why they got him. He's making $780,000 a year. Yeah. That's why he's on the team.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So I guess it's extreme to say he's sucking, but let's just say he's not up to his hype. Then he doesn't give anything back. So I don't know.
So. All right, well, that's all I really got on that. You have anything else?
They're going to be on Hard Knocks, which I can't believe. But I guess there was a rule that if you made the playoffs, you could defer it. I don't want anything to do with Hard Knocks, but they waived that. So now they're almost forcing them to be on Hard Knocks. It's coming in 2020.
That's because all those years that Belichick wouldn't allow it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And plus they were in the playoffs.
Yeah, why do you want to be on that?
Vrabel will love it.
Yeah,
Vrabel will be like a movie star in that show, absolutely. And right now they have that forged in Foxborough.
Yeah.
It's not like it's the first time they're going to have like a documentary or a series on them. They're already doing that stuff. So this way the NFL will get to see it. And you know what? I remember the thing is Rex Ryan got a lot of players to come to the Jets because of Hard Knocks.
Oh, yeah.
Because of how cool he was and how he treated the players. Right. So this could actually be a good way to recruit players to see how Vrabel is behind the scenes. So I'm all for it.
All right, another thing, A.J. Brown rumors are still alive, and I think he's coming here. I think they're gonna make that work. And around the league, the NFL is hiring and training replacement officials. Tom, their current CBA expires on the 31st of May. What do you say about that?
I say that they're going to go on strike, or they're not going to pay them. In the NFL, which makes more money than any other league, once again, they should have a bake sale, generate some money to pay these referees.
Yeah.
It's amazing how, but you know what, the NFL knows. We're all stupid. There's so much gambling, fantasy football leagues, every station that dominates football. We don't give a crap who's out there refereeing. Right. We're still going to watch.
We're still going to watch, no matter what they do.
No matter what they do. Yeah. No matter how much they want to sabotage their sport, we're all idiots and we're all going to watch.
And we're going to go to the extent that we're all going to have to pay. It's not going to be any free. I don't know when it's going to happen, but there'll be no more free football.
Well, this year they're starting the season on a Wednesday. There's going to be football Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday and Monday, the first weekend of the season.
Nice.
Is that amazing?
Yeah, and it'll be a ratings bonanza, too.
It will be. And last thing on football, they're putting a new rule in this year because they know they're going to have replacement referees, and they know they're going to suck. So they're putting a rule in just for this year only that there can be an instantaneous reversal of a call. They don't even have to,
right?
Yeah. So there's going to be like a sky guy watching it, a competent referee that's going to see a ridiculous call, and he's going to be able to instantaneously buzz down and say, nope, you did it wrong.
Are they going to New York, or is he right there in the stadium?
I think it's probably right there in the stadium.
Okay.
Because you don't have time to New York and back and stuff. You just need a decision right away. Because then the fans, the only thing they'll complain about is if it's taking more time, delay.
Delay, yeah. They don't want delays.
Yeah, and then the NFL doesn't like delays either because they want these games to start exactly when they're supposed to start. 1 o'clock, 4:20, 8:15.
Sure.
And they don't want anything that's they don't like games overlap.
No.
So.
That was your second to last thing. I got one last thing.
One last thing.
You ever heard Tom Brady? You ever heard of him?
Yes,
Okay.
I have.
Well, he did an inquiry to see if he could actually, what would happen if I wanted to come back and play? And the NFL, well, they didn't exactly squash it. They just said they discouraged him because he's actually a part owner of a team. I mean, the balls of this guy. I mean, well, hey, I guess he's the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
But he's not going to. After they basically disappointed him, he said, "Well, I'm happy where I'm at." Well, he shouldn't even be able to do what he's doing now. We talked about that last week. Going into locker rooms, getting the skinny on everybody, and basically saying, "Hey, don't sign with that team. Come on over to the A's." I mean, not the A's. I was thinking
Raiders.
The Raiders. With
Yeah.
us. So anyway.
Well, the thing
only
is,
Tom Brady would be able to.
he looked good in that flag football league. He can still rifle that ball.
Yeah.
If he was in the NFL, he'd still be a top 5, 10 player.
I think he'd be top 10.
And the thing is, the Raiders got the #1 pick overall. Can you imagine if Tom Brady's the quarterback? You could use that #1 pick on a stud player.
Yeah.
And they made a lot of signings and free agency and stuff. That team would be pretty good with Tom Brady as the quarterback.
No doubt, but you can't own a team at the same time.
Well, Brady can do anything he wants.
I guess so.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for football.
All right. NCAA
March
tournament.
Madness.
And what madness we had. The last game, last
Sunday.
weekend
On Sunday.
to get to the Final Four was amazing. Duke blew a 19-point lead against UConn. Unbelievable. What stupidity on Duke.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, Caden Boozer, he gets the ball, and he's got two guys down court, and he forced a throw down, and there was only a couple seconds left. All he had to do is just sit on it and get fouled, and the game's over. He tried to pass, and this guy, what's the guy's name that hit the shot there? Braylon Mullins hit a 35-footer. And I find myself, I didn't have any dog in the fight because I only have one team left in the Final Four. I get Michigan, but I always thought with Duke, you either love him or you hate him. I guess I love him because I was pulling for them to win, and I was shocked to see that with those Boozer brothers, I was shocked that they dwindled that lead.
Yeah, well, the Duke coach is an idiot. John Shire, what a dope. He's been known for blowing games in the tournament. Here's the thing, okay, we'll set it up, and I don't think we can show it because of copyright and all that crap,
Yeah.
but, Duke's got the lead by 3 points. They foul UConn.
Yep.
And then he goes to the line, misses the first, gets the second. Now it's a 2-point game.
Yep.
This is where Shire should have called a timeout and said, here's the deal. They got to foul us because there's 10 seconds left in the game.
He did call a timeout. And I was surprised. But in the NBA, you would have had you can advance the ball, and you can't do it NCAA.
He had a timeout left
Still had another
after
one,
they
but he did
inbounded
call-
the ball.
he did
And
call.
you should have told your team, listen, here's the deal. They're going to foul you. Don't do anything stupid. And they did something stupid.
Yeah, and they paid.
And the ball got deflected, intercepted, and they hit a 3-pointer with 0.4 of a second left.
Yeah.
What a disaster. I mean, really.
I was thinking about you because I know you had them as one of your Final Four.
I did, and the funny thing is, it's kind of like, it's not like, I had him winning the whole thing, the whole tournament and stuff like that.
Sure.
And after it happened, I just kind of shook my head because for 30 years, I've never even come in the top 3 in this pool. And with that win, I would have guaranteed a top 2 finish.
And they were ranked the #1 overall.
Yeah. So now this weekend you got Illinois. They're favored by 2.5 against UConn. I mean, you could say UConn might be the team of destiny now. It's when weird things like this happen, you pull a miracle. They had a 99.8% chance of losing that game, and they won the game. So I always go with the team that had no chance and they pulled it out of the fire. So I think UConn's going to go to the finals.
I don't. I think it's they blew it already. I mean, they blew it. I don't want to say those words, but they actually just exhausted all their possibilities. In Illinois, I watched Illinois, man. They're a machine. I think they're going to take down UConn, and I think Michigan hopefully is going to take down Arizona. Those are the two. I mean, Michigan and Arizona.
Those are the 2 best teams.
They're like pro teams. Oh my God. I mean, Arizona is they're huge. So I'm hoping Michigan beat Arizona, and I think Illinois will beat UConn. So it will be Michigan and Illinois, and Michigan will win the whole thing, hopefully. So,
All right, there you go.
and that was the best buzzer beater since Christian Laettner in '92 for Duke against Kentucky. the old.
Stepped on the chest and threw it in.
He threw it in, man.
Yeah.
So it was exciting. It was exciting.
Yep,
It was
that's why they call it March Madness.
March Madness, man. Okay, so what's bugging Hammah?
I'm going to stay on basketball, actually, college basketball. Boston College just hired Luke Murray, who is
Bill Murray's son.
Bill Murray's
and you
son.
didn't know that.
UConn coach. He's a UConn coach right now that's now going to be the head coach of Boston College.
Yep.
So Boston College hasn't made the NCAA tournament in 17 years. July 1st, 2005, they went to the ACC, and they've only been in the tournament once since 2009 because there's no way Boston College can compete with a Duke, a Louisville, a University of North Carolina, Virginia, Florida, Stanford. I mean, just teams like that. This year they went 4-16 in the conference. So BC's getting all this money for being in that conference, but why would you take this job if you're Luke Murray? You can't win. There's no way. You don't get the nil money these other teams get, and you don't get the blue star, the blue chip athletes. You have no chance to win.
Well, I'm thinking along these lines. If he could just make a showing, if he could be like a 500 team or something, maybe it's a stepping stone to another program or something. But you're right, because it's stacked against him for sure. You know?
Yeah. So there it goes.
Okay.
BC sold out for the money.
Yep.
And their student athletes are then up against it and have no chance.
Sounds like a lot of Boston teams, right?
There you go.
There you go. All right. What else?
Mike's Minute.
Mike's Minute. Okay. I'm going to make a case right now that the Celtics right now are better than the Celtics, better this year than last year. Even though they lost Porzingis, they lost Cornette, they lost Holiday, lost Horford. But, you know, you look at Holiday and Horford, they're very long in the tooth anyway. So, and Porzingis is always injured. So really, Cornette was the only viable player in my eyes to keep. But they gained Hugo Gonzalez. Luka Garza's been a real shocker. And this guy, Nikola Jukovic, who we haven't seen a lot, but he's a really quality player. And they got this kid, Ron Harper Jr. And also, playing better this year, of course, Jaylen Brown is out of his mind because Tatum was out. Peyton Pritchard is playing great, and Baylor Shireman because he's getting the time to play. See, these guys, because Tatum has been out, have gotten chances to play. You got guys like Hauser and Shireman and Walsh. They're getting serious playing time. I think as this team is constituted this year, it's better than last year. They're better. They're better defensively. They're better all around.
I think you're nuts.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
The NBA playoffs are all about experience and veterans.
Okay.
You just mentioned all these great guys that, hey, you're playing great from October until April and early May. Guys that are bench players, guys that are young and unproven, they wilt when the playoffs. And there is no way that this team is better than the experience that the Celtics had last year.
We have the veterans. We got White, Brown, and Tatum, right?
I'm just saying your bench is not going to be worth crap in the playoffs.
Okay.
Those are the guys that disappear.
They're going to the finals. They're not going to win the finals.
Yeah.
You think they'll go to the finals?
No, I don't.
Oh, all right. Okay. I think they can.
Yeah, I think Detroit goes to the finals. I think they get Cunningham back.
Wow, if they get him back.
I think they get him back,
Okay.
and then I think they go to the finals. But
I like the team better. Defense.
all right.
Defense
Well, I'm
wins,
glad you're
you know?
drinking the green Kool-Aid.
Well, last year they weren't so great shakes anyway. I mean, Porzingis missed half the year. The only one, Holiday and Horford. I mean, I liked them the year before when they won it, but after that they were slipping. You know, I understand what you're saying about experience, but you know they're a little long in the tooth.
Well, the good thing is, we'll see how it plays out.
We will.
All right.
All right.
So here we go. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to respond to some question or maybe some topic you want to hear in the future, or even trash one of our opinions, or agree with me saying the Red Sox are going to underachieve this year and not make the playoffs. So whatever you want to leave as a comment, I'd appreciate it.
There you go.
Anything else?
No, that's it. See you next week.
All right.
Thank you.